Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Jace Owens, and I'm going to be reading some holiday confessions from Reddit. Sit tight, let's get to it. Alright, first one is, with Christmas approaching, he was talking to his family and they wanted him to visit for the holiday. He was a bit surprised since they all typically meet at Grandma's. He asked, and there was an awkward silence. Apparently, Grandma died that spring. That didn't tell him, they didn't tell him, because they didn't want to impact his finals, and then I guess got awkward. So, I would be pissed if I was this person. I would want to know immediately if someone passed away, especially my grandma. My grandma did pass away somewhat recently, and that hit me hard, and I can't imagine not knowing and then suddenly finding out. That would not be not a good time. Poor person. Next one. It says, how about one of my earliest childhood memories? Waking up early Christmas morning and running downstairs to find my parents passed out naked on the living room floor, where they apparently had decided to have sex after we all got back from a drunken Christmas Eve at Grandma's. I was horrified and crept back upstairs to lay awake in bed until I heard noises downstairs. Slowly, I went back downstairs. My mother was putting presents under the Christmas tree, thankfully in a bathrobe. In a raspy, hungover voice, she told me, go back upstairs, Santa hasn't finished yet. Sadly, that was not the last time I saw my mother naked on Christmas. That is insane. What the heck? I would lose my freaking mind. I can't imagine ever finding that. And then, for her to say, go back upstairs, Santa hasn't finished yet, I'm guessing that's also the year you found out Santa was your mom. That's crazy. I remember when I first found out that Santa was my parents, I cried. I was so upset that Santa wasn't real. It was not a good time. I think I was 6 or 7 at the time. I was so upset. I loved Santa, and he wasn't even real. That was the saddest day of my life, right there. Alright, next one. This one has a title, and it's called the Thanksgiving Stripping Incident. Just going off of that alone is, oh my goodness, I can't imagine what type of scenario that would be. So let's find out. Lots of our relatives gather for Thanksgiving. We stuff ourselves silly with food and then usually play a game together and sit around and talk. One year we decided to play gestures, which is basically charades. Anyway, my uncle, who has Down syndrome, picked his card and proceeded to prepare for his turn. He seemed more confident than usual. Anyway, when the time started, he immediately got down to business, whipped off his shirt, and started unbuttoning his pants. Yeah, I wrote these down because my phone is what I'm recording on. Judge me later. The rest of the family was like, whoa, 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 slow down there. And suddenly his pants were bunched around his ankles. My youngest cousin, perhaps 6 or 7, with much enthusiasm, points and exclaims, oh, stripper, stripper. We still laugh about it, but we never played the game again. So, this is, I have a story that's not quite to that degree, but it does, my sister was really, really young when this happened, and we were playing Dirty Santa, which is just basically you get people gifts without knowing who's going to get it at the end, because everyone trades off gifts during Dirty Santa. And my sister and I were playing with my moms and their friends, and one of the things was this fish that said something on it that was like alluding to sexual acts, and my sister decided, in the middle of everyone laughing about what the fish said, goes, "I know what that means." And we all lost it. We laughed so hard. It was the funniest thing ever. She was so young too. She shouldn't have known that, but it was probably my fault that she did. I was a very not exploring, but I said a lot of things I shouldn't have as a kid. Yeah, I was ahead of my time. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in the video. I'll keep it in the video. Who cares? It's fine. Alright, this one says, this isn't mine, but it happened to my family. My parents were having Thanksgiving dinner with my aunt and uncle and a few others. They decided for fun that they were going to put a bunch of cannabis in the stuffing. My grandparents unexpectedly showed up. Surprise! They didn't want to tell my grandparents, but couldn't serve dinner without the stuffing. Bullshit. Bull. You can serve dinner without the stuffing. The stuffing isn't even the best part half the time. So, that alone shouldn't have happened. At least, like, just go and sneak some bites or something instead of serving it. Anyways, so they went for it thinking they wouldn't have too much anyways. My grandmother loved it. She kept asking for more, and eventually it kicked in. At that point, you should have told her. You should have told Grandma, hey, you can't have any more of this because it has something in it. Oh, jeez. It kicked in and she started to feel dizzy. So she laid down, and one of the guests got, not her family member, dug around in her purse and found some, I don't know what that is, ludes, and gave her one to chill her out. She slept for a long time. She ended up fine, of course, but they never told them what happened. I feel like maybe Grandma already knew what happened, but, like, come on. You could have told her at that point. It seems a little much not to. I don't have any stories of me ever accidentally getting high, but yeah, that was it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed these random little stories for this short little video. Have a happy holidays. Try not to drug your family. That'd be good. Alright, later guys.